Welcome to the Do You Truly Love Me small group discussion class. This is the pre-class video before the discussion starts, and we're going to go over a couple of things now of what you should be talking about when you do go into the discussion portion of the class immediately following this video. God is in control. Well, pretty easy. You're not. So there's a couple of things in there that really stick out and that you're really probably going to have seen throughout. So there's some important things and you're going to really be talking about those items. One, no is a complete sentence. So we really want to understand that no is a complete sentence and how much we try and control and manipulate others when we ask questions. So when we ask a question and we really are only expecting a yes answer, then we're really trying to control and manipulate, or we are living in a conditional love type of love instead of an unconditional love. So we want to make sure that when we ask a question, the answer can be no. How well do we take the answer no when it's given to us? Can we just go ahead and take the no answer and accept it just as that, or do we want to control and manipulate the people to give us the answer? The other thing is how much we really try and see, how much we do try and bulldoze over other people, how much we try and control other people. So we've been talking in the other classes about, calling evil evil, calling good good, and to really try and make sure that we call sin sin and that we can begin to see things for sin. However, a lot of things are just matters of opinion. And so we really want to make sure that we understand that in a healthy adult relationship that we don't have to agree on everything. And that in a healthy adult relationship you can have a completely different point of view than me and we can still be unified. Unified doesn't mean uniformity, and we should not have somebody automatically trying to bulldoze over me, trying to correct me. That includes how we worship, that includes how we have our quiet times, that includes how we raise our children, how we have our families, what's important, what's not important, the order of priorities that we have. And we see that very often in couples where somebody shares an opinion and then we try and bulldoze over that. And we really want to make sure we understand that, because when people come into the group and they begin to see things and they begin to want to have real conversation, because it's very common that people don't have real relationships, and there's a lot of areas that are off limits and so they don't talk about them. And so as people begin to be vulnerable, begin to be transparent, begin to have intimate conversations. This does not have anything to do with sex. It's just telling you the deep dark secrets of my life, or how I really think, or how I really do things or want to do things. When people share those things and then all of a sudden the other person controls it, bulldozes over it, corrects it. That's not right. This is what's better. You got to do this. You got to do that. And immediately I'm over there trying to get you to be just like me, think like me, worship like me, talk like me, walk like me, eat like me, live like me. Then what happens? The people just don't want to share anymore. So be careful. So you're going to start seeing these things. You're going to start seeing, you might be talking about how you control and manipulate God. Our prayers. Now we've discussed the last chapter, called to be a disciple. Now this chapter right over here, God is in control. We're constantly mentioning things, and I just want to be really clear here in this pre-class video. God wants to answer our prayers. God wants us going to our Father in prayer. God wants to give us the desires of our heart. He knows what's best for us. He knows what's really going to help us. So when we're talking about in the book here and in the class, it's not about don't pray for things. Just making sure that it doesn't affect our relationship with God. That the answer can be no. Yes, we do have to ask for what we want. Part of an intimate, close, heart-connected relationship is being vulnerable enough to ask somebody for what I want. And then let them respond. However, we should be unconditional in our love, and no matter how they respond, it shouldn't affect our love relationship. So please be clear. Please pray. Please pray to God for things that you want to have. Please pray and petition for others. Petition for people's health. Petition for people's safety. Petition God for many things. We can pray for our family. We can pray for our financial situation. We can pray for that. Or we can actually take a different point of view and say, I can pray for my financial situation, or I can pray that I will have peace regardless of how God answers my financial situation, and that I can see it for God wants me to do. And I might also be humble enough to get help, and maybe others can help me to correct my financial relationships, because maybe God is just wanting me to humble out and change, or financial, or whatever thing we're talking about. So it's in a relationship with God. God is in control. We want to be making sure that we're not controlling Him, trying to control Him. We're not trying to control others, that we allow people to be themselves. That means we validate versus invalidate. So we invalidate them. We make sure that they know that their opinion is important, and it's good, and it's correct and right. Remember the definition of respect. What's important to you is important to me, and your way of thinking is equally as important as my way of thinking. So when we are validating someone, we're making sure that we're letting them know that their opinions are good. So we want to watch validation and invalidation. We want to watch control and manipulation, how we control and manipulate other people. We want to see how well we are attractive versus repelling. Repelling away, attracting to. And this controlling and manipulation and allowing people to be themselves and allowing people to be intimate, and us expressing through our facial expressions, our tonality, our body language, and how we attend things. Relationships want quantity time, quantity conversation, quantity hanging out time. And so we want to just make sure that we're communicating to the relationships around us that they are important to us. That what is important to me is my relationship with you, with my closest relationships that I have around me. So we want to make sure that all those things we're talking about, when you're having your discussion, the worksheet, again, had a lot of those issues, rankings 1 to 10, and so you can either go over those things and just go over some of these basic concepts that are throughout the book, but really focused in this chapter. So that should be your pre-class, your discussion that you have around the group. Thank you very much.